Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com, and it is a hump day, and that is a Jay Powell day. We got Jay Powell, the Federal Reserve. That'll happen after this show is over. I'm expecting taper. I also think we've got a nice sell down today. This is it. My educated guess. I think this is going to be the floor. Make sure you take advantage of it. We've got a silver sale coming up. I've been promising you this. We will once again. We'll be the cheapest in the country. That's coming up next. But I'm joined, like I always am, with my partner in crime up there in Colorado, Jason Walker. Jason, good morning. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, but I don't know if what we do is a crime. I think it's I think we're doing a public service.
You're probably right.
Maybe a crime to the bankers, but I think it's a public service to everybody else outside that community.
Yeah, that's right. You probably got that right. It's just a crazy, crazy world we live in. We got so many things to talk about. ADP came out with, it's the first week of the month, so this is going to be jobs week. ADP came out today. It was a good number, 500-some thousand. Of course, seasonal hiring. They took a lot off the last month. Doesn't matter. ADP is... again, it's a survey, not necessarily the most accurate. Tomorrow we'll get layoffs, and then, of course, Friday we'll get the jobs number. But I think with this number, it gives the Fed the ability to say, hey, we're going to start taper, which is really what the gold and silver markets want to hear. And right now you got gold, as an example, gold's down 27, right? And we see this all the time with these Fed meetings, but this is kind of the one that I think everybody's saying, okay, let's clear the decks. And then I think we're going to see gold and silver run into 2022. Silver is actually off the lows here, about 23 and a quarter right now on silver. The Dow is, it's down a little bit. Not a big movement there, Jason. We had elections yesterday, right? The Republicans took Virginia as an example, possibly took New Jersey. Listen, Joe Biden's a clown. They have no idea what's really happening in the real world, and I really don't think we're going to be able to recover from what the Biden administration's doing. Energy prices, they're now saying at a minimum, Jason, now, 30% increase in heating bills if you have natural gas. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be more than that if you have natural gas. 30%, you'd be lucky. But they're saying the cost to heat homes this winter is going to jump to about $800 a month.
Yep, all those things are going to get worse before they get better. And when it comes to politics, Joe, let's just say Republicans start getting swept into office. There's always a lot of things that those in power can use a Republican for, just like the way they can use a Democrat. So
yeah, and again, listen, are we changing anything? No.
Nope.
I guess if anything else, it signifies. Listen, a lot of people, you didn't know what you're going to get with this guy. I can't believe that whatever the number was, 75 million, whatever it was, voted for this guy. I mean, the guy's been a clown for 50 years. Why would it change? But this is the world that we live in today, and it's just absolutely crazy what's happening everywhere. As we do every day, let's start with everything that's going to get more expensive. Clorox, who's already raised prices, says, get ready, we're doing it again. They've price hikes for 50% of their portfolio in November, 70% of its portfolio by next year. Let's just come on. Let's just call it what it is. they're going to raise prices on pretty much everything in the whole Clorox line. And they're saying that earnings are down approximately 6% year on year. Net sales declined 8% year over year, and maybe that's a little bit of the COVID factor, right? Where everybody was buying anything that they could get their hands on. But Clorox said, hey, don't worry about us. We're going to raise prices enough to offset any sales declines that are going on there. And then one that maybe is going to hit people a little harder, your snack foods are going to get more expensive, 7% more expensive to be exact. Oreo cookies, Ritz crackers, Sour Patch Kids, my kids like those. Well, they used to. I don't know if they still do, but those things are nasty. But they're saying inflation to persist throughout 2022. Here's the problem with what I didn't like about. By the way, they also have Chips Ahoy, Halls, Trident, Wheat Thins, Triscuits. I mean, wow, yeah, pretty Tang. I didn't even know they still got Tang. But just to name some of the brands, Jason, that they're under. Here's the problem with this one. It's 7% to start the year. But they said we expect more inflationary pressures to persist. Don't be shocked to get hit with another price increase somewhere towards the end of next year. So don't worry, it's just transitory. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. Get those dialing fingers ready. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. We've had Silver Eagles pretty much out of stock for the better part of the last month. I actually, unfortunately, after talking with the Bullion Bank earlier this morning, I'm not very confident that we'll have them back in stock this year. So that just means Silver Eagles are going to be, hey, when I've got some, and when I don't, I don't. So right now, we've been working on a couple of deals. We've got 4 cases of Silver Eagles, and these are fresh. And I'm going to say this, sharp looking, 09s and 01s. Almost all of them are 09s, 01s, sealed cases. If you go out online, you're looking at $38 minimum. If you're looking at the lowest Silver Eagles out there right now, most places are 35 and change. We've got these 100 rolls. We're going to be at $685, which is $34.25. And again, I looked everywhere. This is the cheapest price in the country. I did see one price lower, but you had to buy 1,500 ounces of them to do it. So, but per roll, nobody in the country that I could find anyway is cheaper than us today. We only have 100 rolls. And here's the great part. These are sealed older dates. So they're going to look fresh. They're actually carrying big premiums, but we don't play that game, right? That's just ways of, at least this is just my opinion, for them to rip you off. And we're not in the rip-off game. We want to give you the best value possible. So for those of you that have been waiting for Silver Eagles, again, I don't know if we'll see them again this year. Somebody's got to be willing to sell them to me at a price that's reasonable. Right now, there's places you go out there and they want to sell them to me for $10, $12, $15 over spot. That's not reasonable at all. And again, silver here, once we settle, wherever we settle at here, this is the bottom. And I think we're going to see silver make a significant move in the next 6 months. This is going to be something where I think we'll get back into equilibrium, Jason. If we see silver prices $40 to $50, I think that supply demand fundamental will come back in line.
Yeah, people might look back at November 3rd and say, oh man, I'm sure glad I bought them on that day. And my question is there limits on orders, or can someone come in and buy one of those sealed cases?
If they want to buy a case, they can absolutely buy a case. I'm not going to limit it. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but that's what I'm going to do here. This is, I've got them. We're ready to sell them. 800-951-0592. And I'm going to put this also with some 10th ounce gold eagles. So this is kind of a really great, just in case I need to barter with things. 10th ounce at $240. Silver eagle rolls at $685 at 800-951-0592. And again, keep adding to those portfolios. I don't think we're going to see silver prices get any cheaper. A matter of fact, silver's fallen about $1 this week. Silver prices have not gone down at all. In other words, all that's happened is premiums have gone up $1. Essentially, they're just nobody cares about spot price, especially in the silver markets anymore. We need equilibrium. I think we're going to get it. I do. I really believe that in the next 6 months we're going to see that silver price move above 30, and I think at that point we're going to get that back into that good two-way market, and we'll have product available. I mean, here we are, gold and silver dealer, and I'm essentially saying, hey, for the last, let's face it, 3 months of the year, I don't have silver eagles to sell unless, we got these. The majority of it is coming out of an IRA. The rest of it was a deal that we've been working on with a customer in Florida, and I don't know that those deals will come because most people, Jason, I thought I had another deal coming, and I thought we were going to come out with 6, 8, 10 cases. And unfortunately, when it came down, they just didn't want to sell at those prices. They're like, nope, I'm going to wait because I think, 6 months from now, I think I'm going to get $10 an ounce more. And that's kind of where we're at with silver.
Absolutely, Joe. And, a lot of times, when people are talking about, hey, I'm going to buy this asset or I'm going to buy this stock, I wish I would have bought Apple at its lows. And then, of course, this isn't silver at its all-time lows, but we had mentioned it last week, Joe, that what asset class out there at this point in 2021 is lower than 50% of its highs. Ain't nothing out there. No stocks, no Bitcoin. There ain't none of that stuff out there that's below 50% of its highs. When you're supposed to, how many times have we heard buy it when it's, when nobody else is buying it? Buy it when the price is really low, and this is what you're presenting, Joe, is silver's at a low price. It's every single thing is inflated in prices, and for whatever reason, silver is being pushed down and stayed down, and it's not going to last. It's just not going to last. So 100 rolls of silver eagles, I doubt will last very long after the show.
Yeah, that's really, and again, we'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens. This is the first silver eagles we really had of any sort in the last month. Unfortunately, again, the mint is going to shut down in the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks max. And right now, it's still out of stock. I mean, the problem is the orders that have already been submitted. The mint is just filling back orders. They're not taking any new orders. And then, of course, they're going to shut down and get ready for the 2022, which I think is going to drive premiums even higher, right? At least right now. I mean, the mint's making silver, right? They're producing silver eagles. And my guess, and I don't know the number, and hopefully they'll release them here shortly, but my guess is somewhere in the 3 to 4 million a month range. And it's still not enough to get supply out there. And Jason, then you start looking at we're going to go 5-6 weeks where that isn't even the case. We can really see premiums get very aggressive here towards the end of next year and into 2022. So I have to say, right, this is, in my opinion, this is probably going to be the cheapest price we see in silver. I don't know, maybe forever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could jump off. Yeah,
words, yeah, you hate to use words like forever, but I really, I think everybody agrees silver, it should be somewhere at least in the mid-30s. I think we're going to see that. I think we're going to see it relatively soon. To Jason's point, it's kind of the only commodity that hasn't hit an all-time high since the pandemic. Gold hit an all-time high during the pandemic. All these other things have hit all-time highs. Silver's kind of like the only one that hasn't done it yet, and I think it's gonna. I think
Joe,
it's gonna be really quick. That's the problem.
It feels a lot like 2015. Yeah, I remember when J.P. Morgan they bought like 60 million ounces of silver, and silver was sagging and hitting that all-time low for that time frame. I think it got down to $13, some ridiculous price.
Yeah, it actually briefly interday got into the 12s.
And man, did they end up. So I'd really like to know if J.P. Morgan Chase Bank is buying silver right now, because it sure has that feel, Joe, that there's a lot of big players loading up, and that was how I viewed 2015. It seems like it's a lot very similar today.
800-951-0592 U.S. Silver Eagles. Mostly of the 100 rolls we have, I want to say like 85 of them are 01s and 09s. There are a few other dates in there, but 685, so the cheapest in the country that I could find today. Plus, don't forget 10th ounce gold Eagles, $240. That's another great price there. 800-951-0592. Penalties now on 58,900 shipping containers on the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach are officially racking up charges. These containers were part of the 60,000 containers that ports alerted ocean carriers last Monday to move or face $100 penalties per containers. By the way, that increases in $100 increments every single day.
That's a daily charge,
Think
huh?
about this.
Is that a daily charge?
Think about this. What's that, Jason?
Is that a daily charge?
Daily.
Daily charge.
Daily charge. They had 60,000. Guess how many moved?
They probably added some.
They say 1,100 moved. So my guess is it probably wasn't 60,000. It was probably 58,900 of them. And again, so here's how it's working. So this is going to be something we really need to pay attention to. They are billing the ocean carriers. So the shippers themselves are getting charged. Now, that sounds wonderful, right? Yes, that'll make them move them. Kind of making the assumption that they were leaving them there on purpose. Oh, we could move them, but nah, we're not gonna. Here's the realities. They're not moving them because they don't have the capacity to move them. And now that they're going to be adding these fees, what do you think is going to happen? Well, you think the shippers just going to eat it? Right? The shippers are just going to add it to the cost of all the stuff they're shipping, and now all of a sudden, all that's going to do is create even more inflation. I mean, it's one of these plans, Jason. Do these guys even think it through?
I don't think they know.
Do they have half a brain, really? Yes, you're right. We're just leaving these containers all over the place on purpose.
I don't think they know what to do.
Maybe that's it.
They don't know what to do. And you said moved. I don't know if that's the actual language you're reading, but moved in or moved out?
Well, apparently they want them out of the port. Now, you bring up a great point. Where are you going to move them to? I mean, could we see, you know what, I do know this. When we drove, me and my wife drove to see our son on Parents' Weekend, right, to California. Man, we've got desert for miles and miles and miles, right? We can probably go to Gila Bend. I'm sure they could call the city of Gila Bend and say, hey, we'd like to use some of your desert out there to stack these containers, right, and store them there. I mean, that could be a great win. The city of Gila Bend, hey, I'll tell you what, you're getting hit $100 a day. Yeah, bring them over here. We'll do it for $50.
It'll probably cost too much to get them there, Joe. That's the
well,
problem.
you know what? They may not have the trucks. Do we have
Nope.
60,000 trucks?
No, not available.
to bring them there?
Nope.
I saw an article. They're saying that truckers at the ports have sat waiting for loads to get loaded 50 years so far this year. That's how long they've been sitting there. In other words, every truck, we've been talking about trucks are sitting 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. They've estimated truckers have sat 50 years waiting for containers. It's a Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break.
Wishing for a Christmas mortgage miracle? Patriot Trading Group wants to make your wish come true. Just enter to win on Family Values Radio website, and you could enjoy having your mortgage paid for a year. That's right. It's the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, where if you win, you'll have all kinds of extra money for other things, like a vacation, new clothes, new giant screen TV with whole home audio, whatever else may be on your wish list, because the winner will receive their mortgage or rent payments covered for a year. To enter, go to FamilyValuesRadio1010.com and click on the banner. Enter once each day to increase your chances to win and look for bonus entry opportunities. That's FamilyValuesRadio1010.com and enter the Christmas Mortgage Miracle Contest, sponsored by Patriot Trading Group. See our website for details.
Backwards. Use words like
Oh, yes, U.S. Silver Eagles. Listen, we got a couple of lines open. U.S. Silver Eagles, $6.85 a roll. That's going to be the cheapest in the country. And if we did it by date, I guess, we could have. Maybe I'm just not a good businessman. I probably should sell them for $36, $37. But that's just not how we do it here. 800-951-0592. We got one line still open. $6.85 a roll. Don't forget the 10th ounce at $2.40. That's another really, really strong opportunity as well. Jason, I do have this. I just did some quick math.
Okay.
At $58,900 at $100 fine. That's $5.89 million a day.
Right. It's expensive.
Maybe
business.
they could actually, I don't know, hire more crane operators.
Do they have enough cranes? I mean, I don't know.
Well, they got the crane. I don't. That's a great question. I don't know. I'm just, I'm thinking that the truckers are like, hey, we're sitting here waiting, but there's nobody to load the truck.
I'm with you, Joe. I wish I was in the storage container business right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I think I really do. City of Gila Bend, if you're listening, give the ports a call. Well, actually, probably call the shippers. I mean, think about this. I mean, just throw them out in the desert. Right? Here's the great thing. They're not going to rust.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, right? Just throw them out there. Charge them, I mean, think about it. And you can stack them straight up. So even if you charge them like $20 a container, what a deal that would be.
Needs to be a town. It has to be a town that has a train that goes through. That might be the easiest way to.
They do. They got a train runs right through it.
There you go. That'd be the way. Just find.
I don't know if it stops there, but I don't know. I'm just trying to be helpful. I mean, I don't want the cost of my Oreo cookies to go up again. That's what I care about. And again, it's. I don't know how that math works, and apparently, if I'm reading this right, and I may not, my English comprehension may not be the greatest, but if it's there a second day, I think the fine goes to $200. A third day, $300, and then they tack on another $100 on top of the $100. If I'm reading it right, now I may not be. Maybe it's just $100 a day, but either way, you're talking almost $6 million a day in fines. And again, they're just going to pass that on to everybody else. How about this one, Jason? I loved it. CNBC, they're so far behind. By the time CNBC reports something, it's already too late. They're talking about rents, Jason, and they're saying when your rent goes up 40% as that pandemic fades, many tenants are seeing big hikes in rent. We've been talking about this for how long?
Oh, since the beginning of this year, at latest. I mean, it's been going up for a while.
Here's the funny part. They talked to a woman who's 36 years old. She's had roommates for more than 5 years. And she says, I was able to finally get my own studio apartment. 36 years old. I'm finally able to rent a studio apartment. I wanted to live alone since the day I graduated college. But the good times were only temporary because the Pilates instructor, she's a Pilates instructor, she went to college to get her Pilates degree. And unfortunately, her rent has gone up just a little bit. It went from $1,900. She says that her current rent of around $1,900 is being raised to over $2,300 a month, and she's going to have to move out, Jason.
Do you need to go to college to be a Pilates instructor? It seems to me she probably has school. She might have been able to pay for the extra rent if she didn't have her school loans.
Well, you know what, though? Maybe that was how she afforded it, because during the pandemic, you didn't have to pay your student loans.
Well, there is that.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Think about it. You get hit with a 20, 30, 40% increase in rent. And I want to say that either next month or beginning in January, everyone's got to start paying their student loans again.
And then you got to buy crab legs at $8 a pound to eat. It's not going good well for her, I don't think.
I don't think it's working out. Oh, my Lord. Oh, yes. Thank you, CNBC, though. I did get a chuckle out of that deal. Oh, my gosh. Rents are going up. Well, not according to the Fed, but in any event, the news of the day, everybody waiting for Jay Powell and the big announcement. Are they going to taper today or this month? Or are they going to wait one more month? I mean, that's really the whole debate here. It'll be interesting to see, Jason, if he repeats, no matter what they do, if he repeats the line, tapering does not mean rate hikes. That I think is going to also be a key thing. And again, what he should be saying is, listen, we're going to taper as fast as we can, and then we're going to immediately start hiking rates because inflation's running wild. But they're never going to say that. Yeah,
I think you're right. He can't talk about rate hikes and tapering in one sentence, or one meeting. I don't think that bodes well for his control in the situation. So no, he will not. He won't do both. That's for sure. I still think tapering. He's going to push it. We got a date coming up, but we got a hard date. We got a hard date now for the tapering, and don't worry about interest rates. We're not going to even talk about that.
I think you're right. I think that's really what it's going to be. Did you see Zillow? So Zillow, that's the I don't even know what to call it.
Dumb.
The housing website, right?
They got really dumb. That's what
they list houses, and then they try to tell you how much your house is worth.
Yeah.
Well, Zillow decided, hey, you know what? We're going to be like the Wall Street guys, and we're going to start buying all these houses.
And they did it all this
Zillow,
almost all this year.
Zillow instead of renting them, okay, Zillow was like, oh no, we're going to flip them.
Yeah.
And they actually believed their own pricing of what houses were worth. So they bought thousands and thousands and thousands of homes. in the hottest markets in the country. I'll tell you how it worked out for them next. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. We got phone lines open, 800-951-0592. We'll be right back. 800-951-0592. By the way, I just did the math. At $685, which is what we're selling rolls of Silver Eagles for today, that's cheaper than what I'm selling $50 for. And it's actually a cent and a half cheaper than what I'm selling dimes and quarters for. So Silver Eagles lower than junk today. $685 at 800-951-0592. Over the break, we had someone who wanted a volume discount. So if you buy 15 rolls or more, I'll take another $5 off. So how's that? So even
man. Yeah.
So $685 for rolls 1 through 14. 15 rolls or more, $680 at 800-951-0592. So Zillow, yes, they launched an initiative that they called Zillow Offers. And they went to the hot housing markets, Southern California, Phoenix, right? Places like that. And they allowed for people to sell their homes to Zillow. And then Zillow would fix it up. After they bought the home, okay, yeah, we're going to fix it. We're going to paint the house and fix the AC, do this, that, the other. And we're going to put it back on the market, and we're going to make a bunch of money. Well, they hit a little bit of a snag, Jason. Apparently, Zillow does not know how to actually price houses, paid way too much for the house, and ended up losing tons of money on their flipping on Monday. Zillow is dumping 7,000 homes and getting out of the business altogether.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So I heard 93% of all the homes they owned like a week or two ago were worth less than what they paid for, and what the aggressive nature in which they were purchasing, Joe, they were paying above asking prices. They thought they could be a big shot, and
this is again, a lot of these homes right here in the Valley,
and Colorado. They're in the Colorado market too.
Yeah, we've got the number one housing market. Housing prices are up here more than anywhere else in the country, and they still lost money. Which just goes to kind of tell you, the extent of speculation. Now, was that going to drive housing prices down? I doubt it. 7,000 homes or spread across the country is probably not going to have that big of an impact. But again, it's kind of funny, right? To see like this is what they're supposedly known for, is telling you what the value of your home is. And then they decided that it's okay, we'll pay more than what it's worth, and then we're going to fix it up, and then we're going to put it back on the market. Well, there you go. So they lost, like Jason said, this is how bad they were, 93%. I mean, wow, you would think an idiot could have a better number than that. I mean, I could go out there, and I don't know a whole lot about housing. I don't know what it costs to redo a kitchen or a bathroom. Heck, I don't even know what it costs to paint the house. I think I could do better than that.
Yeah, they made a bet, Joe. I think they thought we'll buy a whole bunch in these hot markets, and then we'll I think they were gonna, what they're doing now, I think is what they were gonna do. I think they were gonna flush sell all of them because things were moving so fast in the prices. I think they saw, hey, this is how much money we can make if we do this in 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years. I don't know what their timing was on their plan, but I think that window closed on them this year very quickly. And just in the last couple of months, and it just bit them. It just bit them hard.
Boy, hard is not the word here. Just got 68 rolls left. 68 rolls of Silver Eagles left here at 685. Still got a few lines open. Yesterday we talked about John Deere, Jason, which I thought was, wow, what a great offer that was. Apparently it wasn't. The John Deere workers have rejected the John Deere contract offer, which was for they were going to get an immediate 10% raise plus $8,500. Kind of like, hey, okay, that'll be like back pay, right? And then raises for like the next 5 years. Apparently not enough. They said that still won't let them earn a decent living, retire with dignity, and establish fair workers for their employees. So again, I think this is going to probably lead to, as Jason talked about, it's probably going to lead to it anyway. More of these John Deere plants moving somewhere else.
Yeah, I think they should just show those workers. And here, and I'm on the worker side. Everyone needs to get their piece. Everyone needs to do their best they can. But I don't think they understand how weak John Deere's position could be. Very, very quickly, company just look what happened to Zillow. But I would just say, hey, remember that car company Yugo? That they love that place, that local company making their cars. Yeah, how did that work out? Yeah, I think they wanted too much. The workers wanted too much in that one too, Joe.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I don't know the situation, but it just, again, I think this is how quickly things are changing in this world, and the people are looking at what everything is starting to cost. And I think they're worried that, hey, we don't think the costs are stopping, right? We don't think the prices are going down. We think they're going to keep going up. And if we lock into this deal, we may be farther behind.
Yeah.
Right? We may be farther behind. I mean, they're talking about, hey, heating bills, best case scenario, heating bills are going to go up 30%. Well, a 10% raise doesn't sound that great when, gasoline's up 50%, heating up 30%, rent's up 30%, right? All of a sudden, Nabisco crackers and cookies and Oreos up 7%. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. I'm not sure what's left on the silver side of things, but we do have a line open. We got all three girls here, so it should go pretty quickly. 800-951-0592. And again, today it's the second day of the Fed meeting. Here in another couple hours, we're going to get the press conference and Jay Powell. I think we're going to get a hard date for taper. Whether it's this month or next month, we will absolutely get a hard date for taper, and we've been waiting. Gold's been waiting for this. Silver's been waiting for this. And again, I think by this dip, silver keeps coming back here now at 23.30. Started the day at 23.50. So gold's off the bottom, but still gold's down $25 right now. Rolls of U.S. Silver Eagles. These are pretty much 09s and 01s. 2001s, pretty much all of them pretty much sealed cases. So these are going to be fresh looking, really good looking, and again, the lowest price in the country. That's a no-brainer. $685 at 800-951-0592. Don't forget, if you buy 15 rolls or more, you save $5. So now you get your cost even lower. So take the time, keep adding to your portfolios, and I'm sure tomorrow, Jason, will talk about the lies that Jay Powell is going to weave today. It's going to be an interesting little dance that he does. Yeah,
you'll be bringing the information for our audience to hear about that guy, and I'm going to repeat what you said earlier. The cheaper than junk silver Eagles. That's a rare situation. So
well, like I said, silver was approaching $25 7 days ago. It's off about $1 this week, and the only thing that happened was premiums just went up. Nobody's going to let any silver go away for under $30 an ounce. 40, and some of them want 35. It's really, the silver market really is really crazy. And again, we talk about this once in a while on certain things. Like Wall Street will have a price, like crude oil. Today, crude oil is down $2 because there was a crude oil build of like 3 million barrels. Not a lot, but none of it actually Cushing fell again. But neither here nor there. They also have what they call the cash market. So, hey, we know that you're saying oil right now is $82. But if you really want it today, you got to pay me $85. Or you got to pay me $87. And this is kind of the silver markets, right? The silver market, hey, you're saying $23.30. But the cash price is $35, $36, $37, $38 plus. And that's really what's happening in the silver markets, where the paper guys can pretend whatever they want the price to be, but the actual physical price is something far different, Jason.
I agree totally. That's exactly how it works. And silver is just not going to go below that 35 an ounce, and for you to have it at the price we have it today is astounding. It's a great way to jump in on silver. If you never bought before, this is really a good way to jump in on Silver Eagles.
800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour.